So the question was about activism, and the student wanted to write a paragraph about activism and asked how to do that. So I suggest using the PI method, which is point, illustrate, and explain. So here's an example. So first, I would make a point about activism, and that could be, for example, that you want to say something about activism, and oftentimes activism is about bringing about social change. So you could say that, and that it is integral to a functioning democracy, for example. That's your point. Next, you have to illustrate that point with an example. So here's an example that you could use, or plenty of other examples out there, but I would illustrate with an example. So for example, you could talk about Martin Luther King and how the civil rights protests in the South happened in the early 1960s, and that's an example of activism. And then finally, you can explain the connection between those protests and how it brought about real legal change through the Civil Rights Act of 1964, for example. So you could add that, although this, that's basically then you have it explained, but you could also add that this activism, although this real activism brought on real change, the implementation in our legal system has been slow. So that is maybe resulting in the discontent, or the current discontent, and which has led to the Black Lives Matter protests. So this is just one example on how you can respond to this. But anyway, good luck with your assignment.